Okay, so what do you think of the new Trek movie?
I hate it.
Hi, Todd.
Hello.
So tell me, what did you think of the new Trek movie?
I liked it. Of course, I came in with wildly low expectations to begin with. So, so anything that was better than Star Trek Part 1, or Star Wars Part 1, was going to be. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a great deal. They did everything right that Hollywood usually has this tendency to do wrong.
What do you think of the actors playing the old characters?
I think they got it. They did a good job. They did a good job. I could quibble. Have some minor quibbles about things here and there, but other than that, you got to remember this is Hollywood, and Hollywood's only capable of a certain level of competence, and they did about as good as they can do in this situation.
Do you think they kept the integrity of Trek?
Yeah, I think they did. Watching the movie, you get the impression that you're basically at a family reunion with a bunch of people you've always known and you've always loved, and and nothing seems to be horribly out of place.
Cool. Okay, if they do another series, another movie, do you think that they will do Klingon, or do you think it's going to be the original series, or do you think they'll do Next Gen?
Well, if they do another movie, I think they're going to stick with what they have right now and sort of stick original series. Or at least that's what I assume they're going to do. Because, this movie looks like it's going to make money hand over fist, and if one thing Hollywood does not do is they do not screw with a successful formula. So I think we're going to be seeing stuff more in the original series universe for a while, which is fine with me because I think people were starting to sort of miss it a bit. And with the fact that Shatner and Nimoy and a lot of the original series cast are getting into the final stretch of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Do you think New Voyages has anything to do with that?
Maybe a little bit, possibly. Maybe a little bit, but it's hard to gauge with fan stuff sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I think part of the reason Paramount did this movie is because they had a franchise that was sitting there doing nothing that they needed to do something with.
They need to spark it up.
And Abrams had enough clout at the point that if he says, "Hey, I want to do this," they're not going to say no to it. Peter Jackson wanted to do a Smurfs movie. They let him do it.
Cool. All right, thank you. What do you think of the new Trek movie?
Well, I've only seen it 4 times so far, but I'm still holding out some doubts, It seems kind of okay, but this whole alternate dimension thing, I still hate it.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Teresa.
I just wanted to get some of your thoughts on the new Trek movie. How did you like it?
The new Star Trek movie?
Yes.
Well, it's tough to admit that I actually liked it very much.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that tough to admit?
Well, it's tough to admit because J.J. Abrams really has given us longtime hardcore Star Trek fans a big, wet, sloppy kiss on the mouth and stabbed us in the back at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Has he ever done another Trek movie? I didn't know that.
Well, no, but he has rather brilliantly managed to wipe out 43 years of Star Trek canon, 5 TV series, 10 movies, in one fell swoop within the context of that same canon.
So you don't think that he kept the integrity of the original show?
Well, he absolutely did, but for those of us that grew up with the original Star Trek, those of us for whom Star Trek is a part of their lives, those of us who are emotionally invested in the franchise, who dwell in the minutiae and the trivia of the details of it, to see all of that just wiped away with the new movie, that's a rather large pill to swallow. Now, but this is such a great movie, though. It's so well done. It's so well acted. It really is a great movie. This movie being so good makes that pill easier to swallow, but it's still bitter.
You don't think that, as you think that it will bring in new people?
you can look at this movie without ever having seen any previous incarnation of Star Trek and have an absolutely great time. You don't need the previous canon to enjoy this movie, which makes it accessible to brand new fans. So it will definitely draw in a new, younger generation of Star Trek fans, leaving us older, long-in-the-tooth fans a little left out in the cold.
Well, you know, they might be interested enough to think to look into the old series.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Now, as the Trek Track director, what do you think this will do for your particular part of DragonCon?
Well, we'll still be talking about Star Trek in all of its various forms and formats. Just because there's a new movie out doesn't mean that we're going to forget about everything that came before. There's still plenty of stuff out there to talk about, and we'll still be talking about it. Of course, we're going to have a particular focus on the new movie this year, of course.
Now, do you think because they started from original series, do you think that New Voyages might have had anything to do with that? Because the popularity of New Voyages was, you know, is pretty spectacular.
Well, the creators and producers of New Voyages would certainly like you to think that. And while there may be an element of truth to that somewhere, I don't think that it was the primary reason for it. I think we all knew that the old Trek canon was getting tired, it had developed fatigue, and it needed a new perspective. It needed someone fresh to come in and give it a jolt of new life. And while J.J. Abrams has definitely done that, I don't know that he necessarily had to go all the way back to the original series and wipe everything out that has come before. I think that if he had picked up the franchise where we had left it before, maybe with new characters, maybe not, he could have done just an equally great job. Which is not to say that I'm not happy with what he's done, because I am. It's just it's a tough pill to swallow.
Now, you think if they do another movie, which I think we're all hoping for, if they hopefully will have Klingons in it, do you think that they will have original series or next gen? I mean,
if I were to take a guess, I would say that he'll probably have the ridged Klingons in any new in the next sequel. I think it's a foregone conclusion there will be a next sequel. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Klingons will be in it, but I think that the next time we do see Klingons, whenever that might be, they'll definitely have the forehead ridges. Because Gene Roddenberry always said that that's what they were supposed to have looked like anyway. And if that's the case, then I think that J.J. Abrams would embrace that. Those of us who are long in the tooth in Star Trek fandom, that have been around for a very long time and who are especially partial and emotionally invested in the Star Trek franchise, are finding it difficult to let go of the old canon in favor of this bold, fresh new perspective. With that in mind, I think that perhaps we should remember the words of an old and dear friend. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Hardcore fans are a small minority for the general public. Star Trek needs a broad audience to survive. We need to bring in a fresh, new, younger audience. So with that in mind, let's give this new franchise a chance. It might be just everything that we've been waiting for all this time. Live long and prosper.
okay. Well, thank you.